Hello everyone, I am Shahid Hussain, and in today's video we are going to discuss about the historical event which have been took place past in 90s. We will explore the Pucca Qila Massacre, a pivotal event in the history of ethnic violence in Pakistan. We will examine the historical context, the events leading up to the massacre, its devastating consequences, and the ongoing efforts towards reconciliation. Ethnic tensions have plagued Pakistan throughout its history, and the Pucca Qila massacre serves as a stark reminder of the dangers of unaddressed grievances. By understanding the roots of this conflict, we can work towards a more peaceful and inclusive future for Pakistan. The Pucca Qila massacre was a culmination of historical grievances, socio-economic disparities, and political competition that had been simmering for decades between Muhajirs and Sindhis. The Sindh province in the Pakistan became the center stage for this tragic event. Muhajirs who migrated from India settled primarily in urban areas like Hyderabad, while Sindhis are the indigenous population of the province. Understanding this demographic shift is crucial to understanding the tensions that led to the massacre. Let's explore the historical context. The partition of India in 1947 was a defining moment in the South Asian history. This image depicts the mass migration that occurred during this period, with millions of people cross borders in search of new homes. In Pakistan, the arrival of Muhajirs in Sindh, it led to demographic anxieties among the Sindhi population. The perception that Muhajirs were taking over government jobs and business opportunities further fueled the resentment among Sindhis, the native people living in province Sindh. These historical grievances, coupled with the displacement of Sindhis, laid the groundwork for the ethnic tensions that would erupt in the decades to come. Ethno-nationalism, as seen in Pakistan as a political rally, became a dominant force in the Sindh province. The MQM, formed in 1984 by the Altaf Hussain, mobilized Muhajirs and advocated for their rights. Sindhi nationalist parties, on the other hand, demanded greater political autonomy for Sindh. These ethno-nationalist narratives, while mobilizing their respective groups, ultimately serve to solidify identities and make it more difficult for Muhajirs and Sindhis to find a common ground on which both can work together, live together. So here comes the Pucca Qila operation in 1990. In May 1990, a seemingly trivial dispute between the students of different ethnicities regarding the university quotas escalated into violent clashes in Hyderabad. This image depicts, we can say, that Pucca Qila, a historic fort located in the city. In response to rising tensions, the government authorities authorized a security operation in Pucca Qila. The Pakistani government claimed that operation's purpose was to establish a police station within the fort's wall and disarm the residents believed to be stockpiling weapons. However, the legitimacy of this explanation remains a point of contention. So, the residents of the Pucca Qila were majorities of the Muhajirs, and seemingly that it was clearly evident that both communities come forward and started against each other. The government claimed against the government at that time. There were government of People's Party and human and against were MQM. MQM was working as a opposition. So the security operation in Pucca Qila descended into a brutal massacre. Uh, the destruction and the devastation that unfold in the aftermath, the exact number of the casualties remain the subject of debate, with estimate ranging from 162 to 200. The violence spread beyond the confines of the fort, engulfing surrounding neighborhoods. The Pucca Qila massacre sparked outrage and widespread protest across Pakistan. The brutality of the operation and the high death toll ultimately led to the dismissal of the Benazir Bhutto government by President Ghulam Ishaq Khan. This event marked a turning point in Pakistani politics and highlighted the deep ethnic divisions within the country. So, if we look um, on the comparatively, we can have a comparative perspective from this Pucca Qila massacre. Was not a singular event in the Pakistan's history of ethnic violence. Uh, City deeply affected by the ethnic clashes. The Karachi ethnic violence of the 1980s and the 1990s involved similar conflict between Muhajir and Sindhis, fueled political competition and competition for the resources. So this was the very turning point in the Pakistan's political and ethnic history, that from this Pucca Qila massacre was the turning point in Pakistan's history, which paved the way for the upcoming rising ethnic uh, violence in throughout the country. And that was the beginning point, and that was the initial point in that happened in during the Pucca Qila massacre. This violence resulted in thousands of casualties, highlighting the complex web of ethnic tensions in Pakistan. In the wake of the Pucca Qila massacre, further clashes erupted between the Muhajirs and the Pashtuns in Karachi as well, further destabilizing the region. These incidents demonstrate the long-standing and the multifaceted nature of ethnic violence in Pakistan. Efforts towards reconciliation after that great massacre named by Pucca Qila massacre, several attempts were made to address the underlying tensions and promote reconciliation between Muhajir and Sindhis. The government established an inquiry commission to investigate the massacre, but the commissions were criticized for their lack of transparency and the failure to deliver justice. Quota systems were implemented in education and government jobs to ensure representation for various ethnic groups. However, these systems have also been criticized for perpetuating ethnic deviance and hindering meritocracy. Civil society organizations have played a crucial role in establishing peace committees in the communities. With a brief with a history of ethnic conflict. These committees provide a platform for dialogue and understanding between the groups. So thank you very much. Thank you for listening me. Thank you for on podcast, and thank you for watching our YouTube.